In Gotham's heart, where towers scraped the sky, a thread of smoke began to climb up high. The year was 1911, a Saturday when work felt less like heaven. The Ash Building stood, a giant made of stone, where countless seeds of industry were sown. On floors 8, 9, and 10, a frantic sound, as sewing machines spun their spindles round. The Triangle Shirtwaist Factory, its name, a place of toil, soon to be of flame. Here, girls and women, immigrants so new, with dreams of futures, bright and fresh and true, would bend their backs for pennies and for dimes, recalling distant homes and happier times. From Italy, from Russia, they all came to play a part in progress's cruel game. The air was thick with lint and cotton dust, a flammable veneer, a brittle crust, with fabric scraps and piles upon the floor, and doors locked shut to keep them from the door. The owners, Harris, Blank, a frugal pair, feared theft of lace, or moments spent in air. So exits sealed, a rule they made them keep, while in the walls, a hidden danger creeped. The clock approached the hour of closing down, a weary peace settled on the town. Then from a bin, a tiny, flickering spark, ignited scraps, a fire in the dark. Perhaps a match, a cigarette's soft glow, the cause remains a thing we'll never know. But like a beast, the hunger of the fire grew wild and fast, a funeral pyre. It leaped from cloth to paper, patterns frail, and rode the wind, a devastating gale. The foreman tried to douse it with a pail, but hoses rotted, destined just to fail. The flames, they roared, a terrifying sight, engulfing all in hellish orange light. Panic erupted, screams filled up the air, a symphony of terror and despair. They rushed 4 doors, the ones they always used, but found them locked, their frantic hopes refused. One door was opened, but it swung inward, and crushed beneath the tide of humanity. The fire escape, a promise thin and weak, began to bend and buckle, groan and creak. With weight too great, it twisted from the wall, and sent its clinging souls into a fall. A human chain, a desperate, final plea, plunging to earth for all the world to see. The elevators run by boys, so brave, made trip on trip, attempting lives to save. Joseph Zito, Gaspar Mortello through smoke and heat, their cars would rise and go. They packed them full, beyond what they could hold, a story of pure courage to be told. But soon, the flames made shafts, a fiery flue, and there was nothing more that they could do. The final car, its cables warped by heat, admitted grim and absolute defeat. The choice was left, a horror to the eye, to burn alive, or from the windows fly. The crowds below, they watched in stunned dismay, as bodies fell on that horrific day. The fire nets, held up by hands so tight, could not withstand the terrifying height. They ripped apart, no solace could they lend, a tragic, awful, devastating end. The firefighters arrived, their ladders tall, but reached no higher than the 7th floor's wall. They watched in rage, with helplessness and pain, as water streamed, but streamed for them in vain. 146 souls met their fate, behind a bolted, locked, and guarded gate. Most were but girls, with lives just barely started, whose dreams were burned, whose families broken-hearted. A city wept, a nation bowed its head, in silent tribute to the youthful dead. The streets were filled, a river of sheer grief, a protest march that went beyond belief. 100,000 walked in pouring rain, to mourn the lost and shout against the pain. The aftermath, a trial, and a stage, to vent the public's sorrow and its rage. The owners, Blank and Harris, faced the court, accused of crimes of a most deadly sort. But legal loopholes, clever turns of phrase, allowed the men to walk, to stunned amaze. Acquitted, free, their conscience may have burned, a lesson in injustice, swiftly learned. They even profited, insurance paid, for every life their negligence betrayed. The verdict sparked a fire of its own, a seed of fierce rebellion had been sown. The people cried, "This cannot be the way. We must have change, beginning from today." And change did come, born of that tragic fire, fueled by the people's passionate desire. A factory investigating force was formed to chart a safer, better course, led by Al Smith and Robert Wagner, who would see this vital, urgent mission through. They walked the floors of factories and mills and documented all the system's ills. No sprinklers, narrow aisles, and doors still locked, the dangers that the Triangle had mocked. Their work resulted in new laws, robust to shatter cycles of neglect and dust. 36 new codes, a sweeping, bold design, to draw a clear and non-negotiable line. Fire drills, extinguishers, and outward doors, mandated safety on all working floors. This fire was more than just a passing blaze. It reshaped labor in profound new ways. The unions swelled, their voices grew in might, demanding rights and bringing wrongs to light. The International Ladies' Garment Workers Union fought for a safer, more just communion. It showed the world that profit's hungry drive cannot be worth a single human life. The tragedy that etched itself in time became a catalyst, a shift sublime. The lessons learned in smoke and searing heat are echoed now on every factory street. The codes we follow, standards we now hold, are stories written by the brave and bold, who perished in that building, tall and grand, whose sacrifice transformed this weary land. So when you see an exit sign's green gleam, or sprinklers waiting to release their stream, remember back to that sad fateful day and the high price that others had to pay. 146 Their spirits call, a haunting echo, lest we let them fall from memory, their struggle and their plight, a beacon burning, ever strong and bright. Their legacy is not of ash and pain, but of a world that would not be the same. It is the bedrock of the rights we claim, whispered forever in the Triangle's name. Thank you for joining us on this journey through a pivotal moment in history. The story of the Triangle Fire is a powerful reminder of how tragedy can inspire profound and lasting change. If you're passionate about history and want to help us create more videos like this, we're looking for volunteers to join our team. You can find more information on our channel's About page. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell so you won't miss our next exploration into the past. Thanks for watching.